Welcome to my channel and this next part of my holiday vlog. I am having to film it while I'm getting ready because this morning we are going on one of the ship's excursions called the Best Bits of La Palma. We haven't docked yet. I have had to set an alarm to get up earlier than I would have liked, so I'm still half asleep. Haven't been to the coffee pot yet for coffee. I'm going to do that once I am dressed. So I'm really looking forward to that, and afterwards, not sure what we will be doing with the day. If it's warm enough to sunbathe, it would be really lovely to do some of that. I'm not putting makeup on during the day anymore. I did on the first couple of days because I can't be bothered. I'll just put it on for the evenings. It is my birthday today, and we've got some things planned to do with the day, but I will fill you in on those as we go along. The only present I've brought with me is the toilet bag I showed you from my friend in the packing vlog, because it seemed a bit silly to bring things that could then get lost in transit, being in the hold, and have to take them back. Plus, I don't get that many presents from people. So the one thing I will show you is that in the messages section, there is a message from my parents, and I'm very pleased they didn't put my age in it. So I will be taking this particular leaflet home with me and keeping it as a souvenir. So I'll be meeting my parents for breakfast once I've got my coffee. And then at 9:20 we have to be out ready to get on board the buses. This is a 4-hour excursion. So luckily I have my power bank because I am going to need it. And yeah, not going to bother to show you breakfast. We're going to the buffet again. There is a waiter service breakfast available at one of the restaurants, but it's pretty much the same food. The only difference is that somebody brings it to you, and I prefer the buffet because you can have a huge variety and as much as you want, and you can just go and get it and do your own portion sizes and all of that. So I am dressed and I'm gonna go and get some coffee. I'm sure that there are things in my zombie-like half-asleep state I have forgotten to say, so I will just have to film those bits and pop them in when I'm editing. But for now, I need a flat white, and the coffee here is excellent. It's the Lavazza that they use, and it's great. Let's have a look at the TUI Navigate app on the Marella Explorer. In order to access it, you do need to be connected to the ship's Wi-Fi, but this is not the same as having actual internet access, which is not free. So, it's a very user-friendly interface. The first section I click on here is Cruise News, and then you've got further subsections so you can find what you want. Here is the timetable for the day, and they do update it every single day to let you know what's going on. The port and weather section is extremely useful if you're doing your own thing rather than going on excursions, because it gives you the time you leave port as well as the weather, and it's very easy to navigate backwards and forwards between the pages you want to go to. I was using it on my iPad, but it also worked on my iPhone. So you then can have a look at the excursions on offer, and you can pre-book them before you go, or you can book them through the app once you are on board. And it breaks it down into each day and what there is available. And here's an example of one of the trips that can be booked. This looked really good, but unfortunately it was the day we were leaving, so no go for us. You can also view the restaurant and bar details. This will allow you to see the times they open, how busy they are at certain times, which is super useful, especially if you have evening plans to take in a show or go to one of the activities. And you can also see what's on the menu at all the different places. You then have access to your account. My Bookings shows you any trips you have booked. You do have to log in, and it tells you exactly how you can do that. I was not logged in on my iPad, but under my account you will see details of anything that has been charged to your account. It's a great way to keep track of your onboard spending because you do need to use a credit card. Under My Cabin, you will find details of how you can order from the minibar, report a problem, details about life on board, emergency procedures, etc., and the room service menu as well. I didn't use room service or the minibar, but it looked to be fairly easy if you do want to order anything from either of those. My feedback just allows you to submit feedback. It's not for complaints, it's more for any comments you have about life on board. Maybe a particular member of staff has done an outstanding job and that kind of thing. The Shops and Cruise store gives details of the Broadway shops on board, and you're also able to book your next cruise while you're on board if you want to. There's also destination services where you can book your excursions face-to-face if you'd rather do it that way. My Photos lets you see any photos that have been taken of you in your time on board. None were taken of me, so again, I can't really comment on that particular section. And the same goes for the kids club, although they do have 2 different kids clubs depending on age. Internet allows you to purchase internet, but it is extremely expensive to do so on board. And then the muster point, details of your emergency muster point. Flight check-in and ship map are both fairly self-explanatory. So let's take a closer look at one of the restaurants. The one we are going to go to tonight is called Vista, so I'm able to use the app to see what time it opens, details of the types of food it provides, and also the menu for today, which can be really helpful when you're deciding where you want to go. Some of the restaurants change their menus daily, some don't change at all, and some change a couple of times a week. You can also use the app to book in at the tapas restaurant or one of the specialty dining restaurants. I've had my flat white, I'm a little more awake, and I do have a bit of time before I go and meet my parents for breakfast, so I thought I would just chat to you guys a bit more. I decided to put on a light cardigan because it's a little bit chilly and not too sunny at the moment, but I will be taking a jacket with me when we go out. I would love to have been able to give you guys a proper overview of today's excursion, but because it's fully booked, it's been removed from the Navigate app, and there is nowhere else where I can get a description of exactly what we'll be doing. But it's called Santa Cruz de la Palma Best Bits, so it's going to be visiting a lot of the highlights of the area, and I'm sure as we go along I'll be able to tell you what is what. I did want to show you one birthday present I have got for myself. The shops on the ship are only open when the ship is at sea, because legally they can't open when the ship is in port because it's tax-free. So one of my friends gave me some money for my birthday, and they sent it straight into my bank account, and I put it towards an exclusive Pandora charm because I love Pandora. I don't wear my Pandora bracelet very often because it's quite clunky and I'm worried about catching the charms in my crochet when I'm doing that, when I'm doing taste tests and food reviews. I'm really bad. I've got so much lovely jewellery and I don't wear it as much as I should, so I'll make that a New Year's resolution, wear my jewellery more often. Anyway, I digress. There is an exclusive cruise ship charm that Pandora do, so I used the money she gave me plus a bit of my own to purchase that charm because I thought it would be the perfect birthday present. It's a way to remember this amazing holiday, and I can't get it anywhere else. So I'm not going to show you the actual charm because it's wrapped up and I want to keep it that way, not gift wrapped, just how the shop wrapped it. I did unwrap it to check that it was the correct one, but I did that when I wasn't able to film, unfortunately, and now I've wrapped it up again. I don't want to do all that. I'm going to put a photo of it on screen. You'll see it much more clearly anyway if I do that, because the lighting in here is not great and I could not bring my ring light. There was not room in my suitcase for a ring light. So apologies, but there we go. I'm hungry now, so I am going to go for breakfast. I'm just going to have my usual. I tend to have fruit from the buffet because it is amazing, and then sometimes I have yogurt. I've had bread rolls, I've had toast, just whatever I fancy. I don't go for a cooked breakfast, but I'm not really a cooked breakfast person. I like them maybe once a year, and it's so warm here. I'm not somebody who, when it gets hot, I lose my appetite. Do not understand those people. I've said that before, so apologies if I'm banging on about things I've said in previous videos, but I do find that I tend to gravitate more towards fruits and salads and cooler foods, except for the evening when hot food is what I go for. But yeah, and the fruit here is amazing and so fresh and so full of flavour. They tend to do watermelon, honeydew melon and pineapple, and I kind of wish they did a bit more than just those ones, but they do sometimes do orange segments as well. But it would be nice to have like mango, papaya, maybe some grapes, some berries, but can't complain because it's all inclusive, so I don't have to pay. But I do need to go if I actually want to get breakfast and get to the excursion starting point on time. On the bus waiting to depart, face masks do need to be worn on public transport in the Canaries, so that's why I have this very attractive blue face mask on. We have arrived at the La Palma National Park. The pine trees here over the years have developed bark which is fire resistant. It is made up of many compact layers so that air cannot get in between them, and this makes them able to withstand forest fires and volcanic eruptions. My sister-in-law is a geography teacher, so I've recorded some of this for her, and that's why you're going to hear some geographical facts. La Palma has a climate with only a difference of 10 degrees between seasons. So in winter it will be around about 15 degrees, and in summer it gets up to about 25. For this reason, the trees that are native to the island do not tend to lose their leaves. However, there are trees that have come from Europe, such as the European chestnut tree, and because these are deciduous, they go through the normal cycle of losing their leaves, but as they become acclimatized, this will cease and they will retain lush green leaves all year round. The main exports of La Palma are bananas and avocados. So I am currently leading the tour. The tour guide told me which way to go. I think she's waiting for some of the stragglers. So we're just going up to the second viewpoint. The terrain underfoot is extremely uneven and stony, so I do have to keep an eye on where I'm standing, especially as I do not want to fall off the edge of this very beautiful but very high cliff.
I'll walk uphill yet.
Wow. Now that's a drop.
I'm filming in landscape as much as I can, as I know is better for viewing than when I do in portrait mode. I'm now coming down the opposite side of the trail. Most people have gone back the way we went up, but it's a circuitous route, so I thought I'd come the other way. And as I'm the only one, it's lovely and quiet and so still. We are here at stop number 2, which is a volcano. Here you can see all the black volcanic ash. This eruption did feature on the news. It happened on September the 19th, 2021. The eruption itself lasted for 85 days. There are points beneath this black volcanic ash and lava trail where the temperature, maybe just a metre down, is upwards of 200 degrees. There are temperatures of 200, 300 and even 400. See the devastation it has caused. See the devastation that it has caused. And up here. And here we can see the volcano still smoking. Luckily, nobody died.
Because according to the expert, people here will have to wait at least 10 years. At least because the temperature underneath this lava.
All this is lava flow, and you can see a village behind it.
It's behind this little mountain, so you can see this is also.
We've got to stick to a designated path because a lot of this is still not safe to walk or build on, because just a metre below all this, the temperatures are hundreds of degrees. But you can see the path of the lava flow. The huge volcanic rocks which are beginning to form 1 year and almost exactly 2 months later. Stop at number 3 of 4, and this is called La Concepcion.
Who's going there? Canaries appears to be floating.
And the island that appears to be floating is Canaries. Final stop of the tour is this church, which is the church where the patron saint of the island is housed. And apparently there is also a church cat. This must be it. This statue and the altar, every 5 years, are paraded down to Santa Cruz in part of a big month-long celebration. Next to the church is a cafe and a gift shop. I'm going for a look, but I'm not intending to buy. And so ends the tour of La Palma. I didn't want to film any of the drive because I was on a bus and I'd be filming through a window and it wouldn't be the greatest quality, but I hope I've given you an idea of some of the things we saw and the beautiful scenery. We have a little bit of time before we leave. I'm not interested in going to the cafe. I think I am going to go back, find the church cat and just stay with it. I'm not really a cat person, but I miss cute animals, so yeah. Go and see if the cat is feeling at all friendly. I'm not going to try and pet it because I think it would probably claw me, but yeah. So I'll see you probably back on the ship a bit later on. It's coming up for half one and I am so hungry, so as soon as I get back on board I want to deposit my stuff in my cabin, wash my hands and eat. The excursion this morning has been lovely. I didn't feel rushed or under pressure, and yeah, a good way to start the day. I'm going to make up my own sandwiches with this and maybe grab a wrap as well.
Bits of string that have been holding us here throughout the day. 226 nautical miles is the distance we have to go all the way across to the east to reach
the captain makes me think of Stephen Merchant's character
under 15 knots, so we'll be making a fairly good speed. The forecast for the wind and the weather is very little wind, and we've got some pretty nice weather. Around 20 degrees will stay as the temperature till quite late this evening, and the swell is from the north, so it will be on the side of the ship, but it's only going to be about 1 metre. So
there won't be any birthday cake, but that's okay because there shall be birthday ice cream. Caramel and vanilla today. As we set sail from La Palma, I'm going to paint my nails and start a new book. Trying to do makeup on a moving cruise ship is not easy. I am not at all happy with how this looks, but I'm having to just suck it up because I'm going to be late for meeting my parents for pre-dinner drinks. I didn't get a raspberry colada yesterday because they were out of the raspberry, so I ended up getting a strawberry one, but tonight I quite fancy a banana daiquiri. So I'm going to carry on getting ready because this has taken far too long as it is, and that's why I'm having to film as I'm doing it. Normally I do not take long to get ready, but it seems today it's taking me forever. Just quickly standing up, I haven't put my shoes on, but I wanted to show you the outfit. I just wish I had the figure for it, but I don't. I do not have time to redo everything. Up there is latitude 53, where we have been for the past few dinners. We have some olives and I'm guessing aioli. Well, I had to have something bubbly for my birthday. No idea how, but I accidentally put this on slow-mo. It's my starter, which is bruschetta. This is mushroom ravioli in a very interesting shaped bowl.
That's just a side.
And I got a side salad as well. Heading up to deck 12. Pool deck at night, virtually deserted because there's nothing at the moment going on here. It's very hard to film in the lift because it does keep stopping to let people on. I thought I would just come and film out here for a bit, but it's actually really windy, so I'm sitting in one of the little beach hut things by myself, just enjoying the sound of the sea and a bit of background music. And then I'm not sure what I'll do. Dinner was delicious, and I want to go to the Indigo nightclub basically later on, but that does not start until 10:30, so I might I might have a hot chocolate and read my book for a bit and then go out dancing, but we'll see. My parents are still in the restaurant. My dad wanted an after dinner coffee. I wanted to come up on the pool deck and just stroll, but it is way too windy, especially in the dress I'm wearing, so I'm sitting here where it's a bit more sheltered. I can't really film because it's dark, so you can't see anything. I can see the sea if I lean over the balustrade, but I'm not going to do that with my phone in my hand in case I drop it. And also, I don't want anyone to think that I am thinking of jumping or anything like that, because I am definitely not. They don't do animals with the towels every night, but I've come in to a little frog, which is really cute. Unfortunately, it does mean that my elephant is no longer. I moved my elephant from the bed down to under the magazine rack in the room, where he was just sitting and staring all day. But the frog is cute, and honestly, I wouldn't even have the first clue how to do something like that. So after my very short, very breezy stroll on deck, I've come back to my cabin, obviously, and I'm sad to see I've got my letter about arrangements for departure and the time I will be going to the airport on Monday, which is at 12:30, and I have to be out of my cabin by 9 a.m. So between 9 and 12:30 I'll be able to use the public areas of the ship, but I won't have a cabin. They do have courtesy cabins that you can use, but I think they charge for those, and I can't think of anything I'd need a cabin for by that time anyway. And yeah, but that's Monday. We still have tomorrow to go, and we will be in Lanzarote. There is another excursion booked tomorrow. Just Mum and I going on that one. Dad decided to sit that one out, so I am not going to go into all the details of that now. I will save that for tomorrow. This could be the end of today's filming, so I better record an outro just in case. I may have to fiddle a bit with the audio on these next clips so I don't get a copyright strike. I'm not monetized, so it doesn't really matter, but I'd prefer not to have it. I'm now in Indigo with a banana colada. I did have a banana daiquiri before dinner, but it was so full I didn't dare risk picking it up because I would probably have spilt it over everything. The night began with some live music from Euphoria, one of the on-board bands who, I have to say, are fantastic. I don't know who this couple doing the cha-cha were, but I just thought they were fabulous for getting up there and doing it. And the girls you can see in the red t-shirts are ship staff whose job it is to try and get us lot on the dance floor. Andrew Geater also came back to do another set, and again, absolutely amazing singer. and the cruise director giving it loudy, as we would say in Scotland. It sounds ridiculous in my accent. Dad got this sneaky recording of me dancing to one of my favourite songs ever. I so wish I could sing it, but you've heard me if you saw the karaoke one. I sounded worse than normal in that, to be fair. I'm not usually quite that bad, but I do sing like a bloke.
Now I just had a little message saying, is Caroline anywhere? Where's Caroline? Caroline, come here. Come on. Caroline's birthday. Are you going to sing us a song? Oh, okay. So I'm going to dedicate this next one for you, but you have to stay on the dance floor and teach everybody the moves. Do you trust me? I wouldn't either. But the ladies in the room will help you out. They will. When they hear the first beat, when they hear this, left in the job down in the city. Tina Turner, Proud Mary. How old are you? 21. Keep this, keep on turning, come on. Keep right, Caroline, keep on burning. Sing it rolling, 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 rolling. Right, are you ready? Keep your eyes on me, I'll see you rolling back. She said,
So thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time, or for the second half of this video if I decide when I'm editing to make it one video, because I don't want tons and tons and tons of holiday vlogs, and I'm sure neither do you. Right, hot chocolate time. Bye.